We need to talk about this incident at the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. Before I go into my opinion on it, and because there is so much misinformation around, I want to go into the facts straight away. If you've only seen this incident in passing, please stick with me as I go through the facts, and it might change your opinion on what happened. First of all, the obvious stuff. George Russell loses control at turn 6 while fighting Fernando Alonso. From the onboard of George Russell, it looks as though he closes in on Alonso really quickly, and it catches him out. The combination of dirty air from Alonso's car and the closing distance are what ultimately catch George out, and into the barriers he goes. Lots of people have formed an opinion on this. Some people have put the blame on Alonso, but others are suggesting it's his prerogative. He can take the corner how he wants. If he wants to go slower, that's fine. Except that's not exactly what he did, and we've got telemetry to prove it. This is the throttle trace from lap 56, the lap before the incident, which is in green, and then lap 57, which is the lap of the incident, in white. Not only does Alonso get out of the throttle early on lap 57, according to the stewards, it was 100 meters earlier than his usual point, which in itself isn't an issue, but he then realizes he backed off too much and actually gets back on the throttle briefly before then braking at a point he had not previously braked at on other laps. Not only this, but thanks to telemetry, we can see that he usually took this corner in 7th gear, but on this lap, he actually dropped down to 6th before realizing, maybe I've made a mistake, and he went back up to 7th. Okay, so you might be saying, why does this matter? He can drive how he wants, he can take the corner in 7th, in 6th, and I agree with that, okay? But not when it's erratic. If Alonso simply gets out of the throttle early, coasts into the corner, that's fine, that's his prerogative. The issue here is he performed erratically to the point that it wasn't obvious what he was doing. He got off throttle, on throttle, braked at a point he never braked before, also shifting down, then shifting up. That's kind of the definition of erratic. What you have to appreciate as well is the closing distances of Formula One cars. They're incredibly fast, and I'm not even sure the video does it justice, really. When you're sat inside the cockpit, there's very little time to react, and these cars have no braking lights. You have to rely on the car ahead of you. Drivers rely on their own intuition, but they rely on the fact that the drivers ahead are so good that they're always braking in the right points because it's precision, right? In this case, Russell didn't really know what Fernando was doing. Now, you might even say, telemetry on its own, it doesn't really mean anything. And you might be right, except Alonso admitted to the stewards he was trying something different in that corner, and he got it slightly wrong by his admission. Hence, why he had to get back on the throttle. Alonso doesn't accept blame for the incident itself, but he does accept that he was trying to do something different and got it wrong. I'm not going to read out the entire stewards report, but I'll pick out a few parts for you. Alonso explained to the stewards that he intended to approach turn 6 differently, lifting earlier and with less speed into the corner to get a better exit. Alonso explained while his plan was to slow earlier, he got it slightly wrong and he had to take extra steps to get back up to speed. Should Alonso have the right to a different approach to the corner? Yes. Should Alonso be responsible for dirty air that ultimately caused the incident? No. However, did he choose to do something with whatever intent that was extraordinary, i.e. lifting, braking, downshifting, and all the other elements of the manoeuvre over 100 meters earlier than previously, and much greater than was needed to simply slow down for the corner? Yes, by his own account of the incident, he did. And in the opinion of the stewards, by doing these things, he drove in a manner that was very least potentially dangerous, given the high-speed nature of that point in the track. Ultimately, Alonso is allowed to take the corner different. That is not what's up for debate here. The issue is, and by his own admission, which simply can't be argued, he got it slightly wrong. By getting it wrong, he drove in a manner that was erratic, and that's what got him the penalty. If there was no accident, if George Russell had managed to save the car or not been affected by the dirty air, would this have been noted? Probably not. We'd have never known about it. The accident actually led to the investigation, and that's how we, got to looking at the telemetry. I did a poll on Twitter and YouTube asking you all yesterday what you thought about this. Was it just smart racing or was it dangerous? Across both platforms, and I appreciate here the sample size is very small, so bear with me, but across both platforms, 57% of you said it was just smart racing. But I wonder if that opinion would change now based on the telemetry and based on Alonso himself admitting that what he tried to do, he got wrong. If he coasted into the corner, it wouldn't have been an issue. I've seen people online saying that lift and coasting is banned and now FIA are regulating how drivers are racing. That's not true, and that's so wide of the mark. It's just people that are uninformed. I really think if you break down the telemetry and you look at what Alonso himself said, there really isn't a debate as to who's to blame. He tried to do something, but he didn't achieve what he was trying to do, and by doing that, he became very unpredictable. Before we finish, I just want to share Russell's team radio in its entirety during the incident. You can tell just how scared he is about being in the middle of the track, and rightly so.
Red flag, red flag, red flag, I'm in the middle of the track. Okay. Red flag, red flag.
Red flag, you got Stroll.
Red, 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 red. I'm in the middle, red. Why so long?
VSC. Called a VSC. Tsunoda.
It's too long.
6.
You okay? George, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm in the middle of the track, half upside down.
Hulkenberg now 6. There's a VSC, so everyone should have slowed down. Okay, car is safe. So Sainz, got Leclerc. And Magnussen at 6. Albon, Norris, now Ricciardo at 6.
I can't see behind me, Ricciardo's.
It's fine. I'll keep calling them to you. Okay, so we got a medical car coming around turn 5.
Just stay. Lost it.
Yeah, just stay. Stay in the car. So I think there's a marshal coming to you now. So a medical car coming around turn 6. And when you climb out, mate, please can you P0 the car. So the medical car has just stopped behind you.
This poses the question of, should a red flag have been thrown? It is obviously a blind corner, it's very fast. The nearest car was about 11 seconds away, and they were quick to put a VSC out. Lance Stroll was the first car to approach the scene. He was told over the radio. He did approach it still fairly fast, but after that, obviously the race was neutralized. Should a red flag have been thrown though? You can tell George Russell is very acutely aware of where he is on the track, blind corner, and he is concerned for that, and I can completely understand why. Could Russell have done anything different? I'm not sure, but it's not the first time Alonso's done something like this. He's done this before. He likes to play cat and mouse. Verstappen at Jeddah in 2021 did something similar. I know people, careful, but there was telemetry there to say that he'd hit the brakes, whether you want to admit it or not, and he didn't get a 20-second penalty. So once again, consistency is very poor from the FIA, but based on the facts, they probably got it right this time. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.